pick in the NBA draft, the Orlando Magic made a very, very surprising pick, selecting Paolo Banchero as their first pick in the NBA draft. Many people thought that Jabari Smith Jr. or Chet Holmgren should have been the first pick in the NBA draft. So was this a win for the Orlando Magic or a loss for the Orlando Magic? In my opinion, the Orlando Magic were one of the losers in the NBA draft. Because in my opinion, Chet Holmgren and Jabari Smith are better players than Paolo Banchero. I think Paolo Banchero's inability to play defense makes him worse than Chet Holmgren and Jabari Smith Jr. And that's why I think the Orlando Magic were losers in this NBA draft. Now, I'm not knocking on Paolo Banchero. Let me make that clear. Because Scottie Barnes was also a surprising pick last year, and he won Rookie of the Year. So very well, Paolo Banchero can become the best player in this draft. But in my opinion, Jabari Smith Jr. and Chet Holmgren will be better than him. I still think he has a bright future, and I still think this isn't a bad pick from the Orlando Magic. It's just a pick that I wouldn't have made if I were the Orlando Magic. Now, another loser of the NBA draft is the Sacramento Kings. Wow, the Sacramento Kings always make terrible draft picks. And this can be another bad draft pick. Now, I'm not knocking on Keegan Murray. I think he's a great player. But I think this team should have picked the best player available. And that's Shaedon Sharpe or Jaden Ivey. Now, I'm not saying that I don't think Keegan Murray can become a good player in the NBA. Sure, he can become a hell of a player in the NBA. And he even has a chance to win Rookie of the Year this year. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Okay, maybe a little bit surprised, but I would not really be super surprised if that happens. Sure, he can be a little bit of a Marvin Bagley replacement at the 4. But I think the Kings should have selected Jaden Ivey, or at least Shaedon Sharpe or Benedict Mathurin at this pick. But they selected Keegan Murray, which this player does fit with the Sacramento Kings. But I think they should have selected the best player available, which would be the best for their team. Hopefully, Keegan Murray has a great career with the Sacramento Kings, but I don't think it's the best pick by the Sacramento Kings. Now, the next player I want to talk about is Shaedon Sharpe. This was a very big win, in my opinion, for the Portland Trailblazers. In high school, Shaedon Sharpe was seen as the number 1 pick in this NBA draft class. He had the highest chance to become the number 1 pick in this 2022 NBA draft class, but he fell all the way to number 7. I think Shaedon Sharpe has a lot of potential, and this is a great pick for this team because the Portland Trailblazers already have Jeremy Grant, and they also have Anthony Simons. To have Shaedon Sharpe to come off the bench would be great. And if Anthony Simons gets traded, let's say for DeAndre Ayton in a signing trade, then Shaedon Sharpe could be the starter, and he could be a very, very good player for the Portland Trailblazers next to Jeremy Grant. I think this is definitely a win for the Portland Trailblazers and a steal for them in this NBA draft. I thought that Shaedon Sharpe should have been the 4th or even 5th pick in the NBA draft, but that was not the case. He fell all the way to 7 in the NBA draft with the Portland Trailblazers, and I think he will help the Portland Trailblazers win this season. Now, another winner for the NBA draft is Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey is definitely a winner, and the Detroit Pistons definitely are big winners in this NBA draft. I mean, Jaden Ivey is a great fit next to Cade Cunningham. He can drive to the rim pretty well, and he can dunk the ball pretty well. And he's a very, very good defender, as you saw that tenacious block right there. He can shoot the free ball at a 35% rate. He still needs to work on his playmaking and his mid-range shooting, but other than that, Jaden Ivey is a great player, and he's the best pure shooter in this NBA draft. He will definitely help a guy like Cade Cunningham, because a guy like Killian Hayes has the inability to shoot the ball and is definitely hurting this team right now. Cade Cunningham needs a guy like Jaden Ivey for shooting, and Jaden Ivey will definitely help Cade Cunningham, and this could be a backcourt for the future that could help them win a championship in the future. Sure, that's definitely going to be in 5-10 years, but Jaden Ivey is going to take some time to develop in this league, and the Detroit Pistons would emerge as a great team again, in my opinion. Jaden Ivey is a great player from Purdue, and I think this is a great pick for the Detroit Pistons. Now, for the third pick in the NBA draft, the Houston Rockets selected Jabari Smith Jr. This is the biggest win in the NBA draft, in my opinion. The Houston Rockets are the biggest winners in the NBA draft. And you know why? Because many people thought Jabari Smith Jr. would become the first pick in the NBA draft, and Houston stole him. They stole him at number 3. They definitely made a great pick in this NBA draft, and he's a great two-way player that will fit with Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. in a trio, which will be amazing for the Houston Rockets' future. All these young players the Houston Rockets have can help them emerge as a great team in the NBA, as the Rockets could be one of the best teams in the NBA 5 years from now, and as early as 3 years from now, they can be a very good team. Jabari Smith Jr. could be a great player for the Houston Rockets, and in my opinion, he's the biggest steal in this NBA draft. Now, Chet Holmgren is also a great player, but I think Jabari Smith Jr. is a little bit better than Chet Holmgren. I think Chet Holmgren was a good pick for the OKC Thunder. I think that was a A+ by the OKC Thunder, because they got the center they needed, and Sam Presti makes great draft picks. So I think Chet Holmgren will be a great player in this league. Other good picks were Dyson Daniels and Jeremy Shohan. I think those picks were also some A+ type picks. Dyson Daniels will be a great player coming off the bench for the New Orleans Pelicans, and a guy like Jeremy Shohan is a good defender. He can block shots and steal the ball, and he's also a great passer. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Please like and subscribe, and peace out.